Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a pretty small week but packed with lots of great stuff. I'm going to start with the Marvel guys. It's a big week for this guy. This is Conan the Barbarian back at Marvel Comics where he started originally back in the 70s and took some time at Dark Horse. Now he's back at Marvel. They've got 3+ books of Conan the Barbarian. There's this one, Conan, the main title. There's Savage Sword of Conan, which you may remember as the magazine from back in the day. Everybody loves some Savage Sword. And Age of Conan. Lots of barbarian action for you this week. Good to see Conan back at Marvel. Like I say, back where the comics began, where it launched the Bronze Age, etc., etc. And of course, War of the Realms, Journey into Mystery, along with War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, your 2 War of the Realms books this week, including Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Lots of this War of the Realms stuff. Like I always say, you only have to follow the main book, but if you're loving the main title, like everybody seems to be, you might want to check out some of these side books too, because they're a lot of fun. Age of X-Man, Apocalypse. It's your Age of X-Man book of the week. Repeat what I just said. There's lots of this Age of X-Man stuff. If you're only following Uncanny X-Men, that's totally fine. But if you liked what happened in the first arc of Uncanny, check out some of this Age of X-Man stuff. It's always fun to see alternate reality versions of your favorite characters. And X-Force, it's your other X book of the week. Speaking of alternate reality versions, there's my man Strife. If you're an old 90s guy like me, you love some Strife. Captain Marvel, number 5. One of the biggest books in comics, one of the biggest books there is. 1 through 4 have totally sold out and gone to reprint, so I hope you already picked those up. If not, you're waiting for those reprints or you're waiting for the first volume trade paperback. Really digging this title. Everybody loves Captain Marvel these days. Fun stuff. And Captain America, number 10. Everybody knows this is my favorite Marvel book. Been my favorite title, well, as long as I can remember. Loving these covers. This book is really solid right now, so if for some reason you're not following Captain America, pick up that first issue, catch up to this week's number 10, grab the Black Cat pack of 1 through 6 to see what I'm always talking about. Great time to be a fan of Cap. And The Invaders is your other Captain America book of the week. He's taking on Namor these days. Love me some Invaders, love me some old school golden age Marvel stuff brought into the current. Good stuff there. A big week for Spidey too. How about some Symbiote Spider-Man? Everybody loved that first issue with that Art Germ Gwen Stacy cover. This one is a cool Mysterio issue. Going to be a lot of talk about Mysterio coming up. One of my favorite Spidey villains. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And your last issue of Spider-Man Deadpool. This is Spider-Man Deadpool number 50. Rounds out that hilarious series. That's all your Spider books for the week. Star Wars Age of Rebellion Boba Fett. You can read more about this one in our newsletter. Really been encouraging you guys to check out all the great stuff that Marvel's been doing with their Star Wars stuff. This Age of Rebellion has been a lot of fun. If you go back to Age of Republic, now Age of Rebellion, it's just a whole series of one-shots featuring some of your favorite characters from the whole timeline of the Star Wars mythos. Everybody loves some Boba Fett, so make sure that one finds its way into your stack this week, along with Dr. Aphra, one of the original Marvel characters coming to the Star Wars universe. A little like Mysterio, there's going to be a lot of talk of Dr. Aphra coming up, so if you don't know much about this character, grab the first trade paperback. Good stuff there. Great week for the DC guys. It's always a big week for this guy. This is Detective Comics number 1003. Obviously, Detective 1000 was the biggest book of the year. 1001 and 1002 totally sold out. Would expect this one to totally sell out as well. Always a big time to be a Bat fan. Detective is just as awesome as Batman, so if this one isn't on your list, it should be. Along with The Batman Who Laughs number 5. I know this one's already in your sub box, so it doesn't need much help from me. Batman and the Outsiders number 1 is yet another new Bat title rolling out. If you're old school like me, you remember the original Batman and the Outsiders from back in the day with him and Black Lightning and Katana. Well, he's got the band back together in a brand new book. Good fun there. And Catwoman, along with Red Hood Outlaw, rounds out your Bat books for the week. Wonder Woman number 70. Another one of the biggest and best books DC has. Another one of the best books in comics these days. If this one isn't on your list, it should be. Go back to number 57, when G. Wilson took over the book. Wonder Woman is always awesome. And Supergirl is your only super title for the week. This one's not done by Bendis, but it sort of runs alongside all of the storylines that he's got going on in the other super books. Everybody loves some Supergirl. If you're following Bendis' Superman and Action Comics, you definitely want to have this one on your list. Good stuff. And The Flash starts a new arc with Year One. There's going to be a lot of buzz about this book. There's already a lot of buzz about this book. So I'd be getting down to your shop today or get this one into your sub box. It's already one of the most popular books there is. He's, DC's big TV star. But like I say, they're doing a sort of reanalysis of his origin. And Year Ones are always a big deal. So it's a good time to jump into The Flash. Hawkman, number 12, is one of my favorite new titles from DC these days. Good to see Hawkman back in his own book. Good to see them fixing what they've done with Hawkman over the years, kind of solidifying his origin and his place in the DCU. Like I say, it's good to see him back in his own book. Hawkman should be one of the premier titles of DC Comics, along with this guy, Shazam. This book has exploded and is totally sold out in recent issues. The movie, of course, sure helps, but everybody loves Shazam. This book's been a whole lot of fun. Great stories, great art, which, of course, is always what makes good comics. Grab the reprint of the first issue. Catch up to this week's number 5. If you love the movie like everybody seemed to, it's a good time to be checking out some Shazam comics. Justice League Odyssey is your team book for the week. And that rounds out your DC proper, but there's always more DC to talk about, like the Wonder Twins. Love me some Zan, Jaina, and Space Monkey Gleek. This is your Wonder Comics book of the week. And House of Whispers is your Sandman Universe Vertigo book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to have a Vertigo title on your list. If you're looking for something non-superhero, something a little edgier, something darker, go to the Vertigo website. Check out all the cool stuff that they do. And it's a great week for all the other guys too. Really good week for my friends at Dark Horse. This is Aliens Resistance. Always talking up the amazing job Dark Horse does with Alien and Predator and all the great licensed property stuff that they do. But they do a lot more than that, like Black Hammer, Age of Doom. If you grab the Black Hammer book on Free Comic Book Day, maybe that was your introduction to Jeff Lemire's super awesome superhero universe. Like a lot of things in comics, there's a lot of talk about Black Hammer these days. This is your next multimedia adventure. So get up on some Black Hammer. And She Could Fly is your Burger Book Dark Horse book of the week. Been pushing a lot of this Karen Burger book stuff from Dark Horse. Again, a little like Vertigo, which she's sort of spearheaded. If you're looking for something different, something edgier, something darker, something non-superhero, check out all the cool Burger books from Dark Horse. Ice Cream Man. It's my Image book of the week because we love some horror anthology around here. You wouldn't think a book called Ice Cream Man would be a horror title, but it is, and it's awesome. Grab the first 2 trade paperbacks to see what we're always talking about, or just jump into the latest issue. Unnatural is another recent Image hit. Image has all kinds of hits, so like a lot of things, I'm always encouraging folks to go to the Image website, check out the New This Week section, and pick up an Image book, because they do all kinds of things that a lot of the other publishers won't do. Excellence is your first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week. As I just said, always encouraging you guys to grab these first issue Image books, because when they're gone, and when they're gone, they're in demand. Now let's talk some Archie, one of the greatest publishers of all time, one of my favorite publishers these days. This is your regular mainstream Archie book. This is number 704, starts the new arc, crossing over with Sabrina, one of my all-time favorite characters. This is not your grandma's Archie. This is sort of more of a PG-13, kind of a more modernized version of all your favorite Archie characters. It's everything you know and love and remember, but a little more modernized, a little more mature. There's that one, and there's Betty and Veronica. This is the last issue of the latest Betty and Veronica miniseries. Everybody loves Betty and Veronica, but the one I've been waiting for is Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica. Yes, Archie is, as I said, one of my favorite publishers these days because they're doing all kinds of crazy fun stuff that you would never expect from Archie, like their line of horror, like their awesome team-ups. They did Betty and Veronica meet Harley and Ivy. Now Betty and Veronica are teaming up with Red Sonja and Vampirella. I mean, come on, it's all right there in the title. You know you want to have that book in your box. Great stuff. That's the Archie Dynamite crossover. And speaking of Dynamite, this is James Bond Origin. My other Dynamite book of the week, because James Bond totally deserves multiple comics because he's one of the greatest characters of fiction. Speaking of greatest characters of fiction, this is Samurai Jack from IDW, my IDW book of the week. Love me some Samurai Jack. They've done quite a few different series. And the comics are just as awesome as the animated feature was. Like I say, love me some Samurai Jack. Always love when IDW busts out a new comic series. Make sure that one finds its way into your box. And Ronan Island is your Boom Studios book of the week. Two reasons I'm mentioning this one. One, it's written by Greg Pak, who's one of my all-time favorite guys. If you're a big Hulk fan, you know who Greg Pak is. And I mean, this book has been, my phone's been ringing off the hook for this book. For whatever reason, everybody and their mother's asking me about Ronan Island, so grab the reprint of #1 that's out this week and see what everybody's talking about. And Star Wars Adventures. It's one of my all-ages book of the week. Been talking up the IDW Marvel books. IDW is doing a whole line of Marvel comics for the all-ages group. They do Avengers and Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Star Wars Adventures. Been loving this title from the very beginning. So if you're looking for something a little lighter, a little more fun, something for the young ones in your life, Star Wars Adventures is always awesome, as is Frozen. Love seeing pretty much anything Disney in comics because that's always fun. And Sonic the Hedgehog rounds out your all-ages books for the week. Always encouraging you guys to have an all-ages title on your list. Really, really great week. Lots and lots of fun stuff. So check those shipping lists, get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to thank everybody that came out to our big free comic book day / Star Wars Day event last Saturday. It's one of the biggest and best days we've ever had here. It was tons of fun. We had a great time. We hope you had a great time too. We hope you picked up tons of stuff at our hugest sale of the year. You're probably still reading through some of that stuff. Like I say, we hope you had as much fun as we did. We had a great time. Look forward to doing it again next year. Be on the lookout for the Black Hat Comics Rock and Milpitas pre-Comic-Con Comic-Con. That's the next over-the-top shindig we've got coming up. Keep up with the events page at black-cat-comics.com for all the fun stuff that we got going on here. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at the aforementioned black-cat-comics.com. Check out the Facebook page, check out the YouTube channel, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com, or just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.